Barbados is tonight being told that the national insurance scheme is too important to let it fail. Pensions Director with Fortress Fund Managers Limited, Rene Delmas, wants to see greater control of the NIS. He says that while contributions currently exceed benefits, it's forecast to turn around by the year 2022. It is projected by then benefits will exceed contributions. Mr. Delmas was responding to a question posed during the annual Fortress Forum at the Frank Cullimore Hall, where there was in-depth analysis of the local, regional and global investment environment.
So when that happens, NES then has to go to government, because government now owns, 70 to 80%. Or the NES is invested 70 or 80% of its assets in government paper. You now have to get money from government to pay benefits. But all it is a piece of paper. By 2050, it is estimated that the fund will be depleted. Now, I'm not spouting this thing causing any panic here. This is normal in Social Security schemes in the world.
In response to another question regarding tertiary education and a savings plan, board member of Fortress, Roger Cave, is hopeful such a plan could be set up soon.
It was announced in the budget in August that the government was looking at registered education savings plans to help fund the cost of UE education. I think it's a great product to come. It's used in other developed markets, and the government does seem keen to be doing it, and we are working with them now to try and get them going, and if all things go well, we may have a plan before the end of 2013, so that's the hope.
A prediction that within the next 2 years, a lot more local manufacturers and other companies will be using renewable energy to bring down their cost of doing business. It comes from Edward Toppin, Public Relations Officer with Solaris Global Energy Limited. He says government has paved the way to make this a reality. Speaking during the recent launch of Phase 2 of the I'm a Bajan campaign, Mr. Toppin revealed that many local entities are signing on to cheaper options to power their operations.
Within the last 2 months, with the agreement and the laws being laid in Parliament, there have been some movement in terms of private sector organizations purchasing photovoltaic systems, bringing down the price of the energy. Mostly medical centers, and as well as 1 or 2 manufacturers. And we estimate within the next 2 years that we will have a serious growth in the use of renewable energy versus fossil fuel energy from the now Light and Power Company.
A busy morning for fire officials as they responded to 2 blazes. One home was completely destroyed and 2 others damaged after a fire at St. Hill Road, Carrington Village. Burnt out windows and power lines were visible on the 2 nearby homes. 8 officers, along with 2 fire trucks from the Probin Street headquarters under the command of Divisional Officer Tyrone Trotman, responded to the blaze at just before 5 this morning. A second alarm was sounded and the same crew responded to another blaze at Howells Cross Road in the Ivy at around 6 o'clock. The structure, which was reportedly abandoned for some time, was also completely destroyed. Police have launched a 3-tier investigation into the article headlined "Sex Scene," which appeared in the Nation newspaper last month. The article carried a picture of 2 school children reportedly having sex. In a statement, Acting Commissioner of Police for Crime, Lionel Thompson, acknowledged that there has been much debate as to whether any laws were breached and the force's role in the matter. ACP Thompson says the force launched the probe recognizing the public's interest and its right to know. He explained that the investigation has been guided by the welfare of the children of Barbados, the public's interest in the administration of criminal justice, the state's interest in the prosecution of criminal offences, and whether the act is prohibited with penal consequence. ACP Thompson says the investigations are being conducted simultaneously and should be finished by November 13th. The Jamaican national charged in connection with Wednesday's fatal accident at Blowers Road on the Ronald Mapp Highway has been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison at Dodds. 29-year-old Voltan Samuda of Kingsland Gardens, Christchurch, appeared in the District A Magistrates Court today, where he faced the charge of causing death by dangerous driving. 55-year-old Caroline Stewart, a former MTW Drainage Unit employee and Blackbest St. Peter resident, was killed when two cars collided and struck her as she stood at the side of the road. The driver of one of the vehicles and his two passengers were taken to hospital for medical treatment. Samuda had turned himself into lawmen. He is to reappear at the District E Whole Town Magistrates Court on November 19th. The culinary arts are an important component to the island's cultural industry, and Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth, Stephen Lashley, believes Barbados can use its cuisine to help promote the island. His comments came during the opening of the NIFCA Culinary Arts Exhibition and Professional Cook-Off at Sky Mall. The minister is pleased that several local Bajan dishes are readily available in the island's restaurants, and he welcomed the use of breadfruit.
I know that many persons may not like to eat breadfruit, but in recent times breadfruit is not only laid out or stretched out, but it is certainly served in so many different ways. And I think that the utilization and the exploitation of breadfruit in cuisine can really do even more to propel Barbados as one of the outstanding nations when it comes to international cuisine.
Mr. Lashley also welcomed participants in this year's competition, telling them that good prizes and incentives are in store for the winners. CEO of the National Cultural Foundation, Cranston Brown, believes the current location for the competition at Sky Mall, Haggett Hall, is ideal.
We were scouted for a central location to do all three events, and I think we have found it. We are in a good ambiance, and I look forward to many more years partnering with the Sky Mall and the Trimark